We've all seen TV shows and movies where someone passes away and there's a large inheritance, and all of a sudden everyone comes out of the woodwork trying to get a piece of the action. And when someone is unhappy with what they've gotten, what happens? People end up in court. Is there a way to prevent that from happening, to make sure that no one ends up contesting your will? Absolutely, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to figure out what it is you need to do. So who hasn't seen a movie all about a family dispute after someone's passed away and the whole family is fighting about it? Or who hasn't heard all of these different celebrity stories of just people coming out of the woodwork looking for inheritances? Well, unfortunately, if you don't have proper planning in place, if you haven't reviewed your documents, if you haven't really carefully sat down and considered where you want your assets to go after you've passed away, unfortunately, your family is going to end up in court without any further planning on your part. And if that happens, if they're in court, who's going to end up deciding who's going to get what? It's not going to be you anymore. It's going to be a judge, someone who doesn't know you, who doesn't know your family, who doesn't know the assets. Family conflict is one of the main reasons why probate cases take so long, especially out here in California. Well, the best way to prevent that from happening is really by going through, looking at exactly who the people are in your family, who you think is going to be okay with things, who's going to be a little bit difficult, and figuring out exactly what plan you want for the people and the assets in your life, to come up with a plan that's really tailored for that. It's important to think about things such as obviously children and spouses and sometimes siblings, but it's really important to consider your relationship with your stepchildren. It's important to consider your relationship with your step-parents. It's really important to consider potential relationship with ex-spouses who may end up coming back into the picture, and just a lot of different people where there's potential for conflict. Another thing to consider is not just about the assets, but what about the kids? If something happens to you and you have kids, there could be a fight in the family over who's going to end up raising your kids. And that's one of the biggest fights that can really end up tearing people apart. Without doing any type of planning, then it's going to be up to a judge who's going to decide where your kids are going to go. But even if you do some planning, you're not able to exclude anyone from being a potential guardian if you just have a will either. So it's really, really important to really think through the people, the pieces, the money, the kids, just to make sure your family doesn't end up in any type of court conflict. And it's important to document those wishes that you have, to make sure it's super clear, to make sure that there's no issues with that and there's no question of that. If you have any questions about how to do that, I'd be more than happy to talk to you and walk you through that. This is Pantea with Palm Desert Law Group.